Hi there, this is Rob, and this is the 2-minute overnight overview for Tuesday. A lot to cover today, so let's get to it. Here are the odds as they stood near the close on Monday. Once again, we had a borderline short situation for both ES and SPY. Price action for ES was very weak, seasonality was somewhat weak, but internals were slightly bullish, and it was internals that kept the average up-gap percent from reaching lower than 45% I typically require for a short trade. There was an Edgefinder study that supported the bearish case as well, but other than ES odds just barely missing, there were two other things that kept me from taking a short. First, there were no other index securities meeting the minimum short criteria. And secondly, with seasonality middling, I'd be using the lower target amount. I don't mind risking 6.5 points to make 3 points if it's a high percentage trade. But that is not favorable risk reward when you're talking about a borderline setup. I discussed all this in the trade room yesterday, and I indicated I would not be taking an overnight trade. Let's take a look and see how the night played out. After settling at 15.50.5, ES traded below there most of the night. Had someone taken a short position and used a 3-point target, they would have realized the profits early in the morning. But by the time ES opened at 9:30 a.m., it did so with a 1.25 point gap down. Yesterday I showed how ES has exhibited a bearish overnight inclination after closing at a 50-day high on a Monday. Today I thought I would take that a step further and show how that inclination has broken down by day of the week. To do that, I'll run a quick optimization. On this table, Monday is represented as the first day of the week, Tuesday is number 2, Wednesday number 3, and so on. It appears here that while there's a general tendency for the market to pull back some overnight after closing at an intermediate term high, that tendency has been stronger earlier in the week. Later in the week, there's a better chance that momentum may carry through overnight. Today being Tuesday, you can see the numbers there are all squarely bearish. Here's a look at Tuesday's profit curve. A fairly steady move from upper left to lower right served to provide some confirmation of the downside edge. Traders may want to keep this in mind. That's all for today. Thanks for listening, and rest easy.